Where did you put the knife? Looks like this. You may have had it. So today we're going to talk about mudding and tape. First step before you even break out the mud is to make sure that all your screws actually get into the wall completely. You just run a knife over the top really quick. Anytime you missed a screw hole like this, it's going to pop out a little paper. So you just put the backside of your knife in and just push it in to create a little dimple so you can fill that with mud and it doesn't flake out.
She's over this tutorial, honestly. So is this a tutorial or a vlog?
It's both. Okay.
Okay, but who's actually gonna drywall their own house? We're crazy. Most people don't do this. Beautiful. The forbidden ice cream.
So I'm gonna throw like...
She's alive, we're good.
I'm gonna throw like a quarter of this into this bucket.
This is way less satisfying than I thought it would be, honestly.
It's kind of dry.
That's what she said. I've decided it's frosting. It's forbidden frosting, not forbidden ice cream.
So even though this stuff comes pre-mixed, it's not wet enough to just start putting up on the wall. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of water out of here, clean water, put it into the bucket.
Now we start.
Hold on.
Make sure to always put back in water, or you will hate yourself later.
Do our inside corners first. Make our crease in the paper. Give it a good edge here. So now it's gonna end up going here, into that corner. Yeah, we're about good. To get my mojo back with this. So first we're gonna add some mud to the corner. Just go right down, work our way down. Just keep throwing mud on.
Blair. Blair. Gotta wake up, babe.
Just like this is so boring. Most important step, after you get it embedded in the tape, is actually go over and put more mud over the tape again so that it actually moisturizes the tape so you don't get a bunch of bubbling. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with tape popping out and looking terrible. Take your knife, put it on, put it off.
Someone keeps trying to fall asleep, so we will take her out of the bouncer. Yeah, isn't that right, little goose?
Almost have the second corner done.
Just not feeling optimistic about the process.
Well, the corners are the worst.
I did all the little nail holes. Still a few more on the ceiling to do, but we're are you doing to help?
Hey, I gonna gobble you. I gonna gobble you.
There in the end, Blair was ready for bed, so we showered and Jared did the rest of this. Slowly getting there. Got 1, 2, 3 left just on the walls and then some ceiling ones, but it's getting quite late, so we'll see what happens.
That's all the walls and screw holes done in the studio room. I still have to do the ceiling. We put some spray foam in the really large gaps just to use as some backer for when we fill it with mud. This room might seem like it's a lot bigger and will take a lot more time, but in terms of joints that I will have to tape, it's about the same as the studio room, a little bit more. I made sure all my tools are clean, but I am done for the night. The inside corners have to be done first, but they're also the stuff that takes the longest to do. So that was about 2.5, 3 hours of work just to do all those inside corners. Not the fastest, but it gets done. We decided we're gonna do floating shelves under the staircase. The dimensions of pine lumber are just too shallow compared to how deep this needs to be. So we're gonna drywall this in still. We still gotta drywall this beam in, and then we're gonna do shiplap in this area. A little bit of a pro tip whenever you go to take a break in the middle of mudding, just make sure your knife stays wet and clean off the hock. Put a little water into the mud that you have left and then just cover it right up.
She says, "Daddy, teach me." Did this so far.
That is one pail gone. Google told me that it's going to take 17 gallons to do our basement, and each of these buckets is 4.5 gallons. So 1 gallon or 1 pail down, 3 to go. I cannot stress enough how important it is to keep the tools clean. So I've got my buckets cleaned out, got my trusty little sponge doing the hard work, and all my other tools are clean. Pretty much got 3 walls, well, 2 walls done, but the big long wall is done, and about half of that little wall over there.